Whip, womp, womp. You get to play as Aaron first.
What your elf I see? Haha, that was a reference to the film.
Wow, how did you do that? Are you a wizard?
Yeah.
You remember the film? So, Frankie, obviously your favourite piece of media that's ever existed is Tasmania. This is a known. Can you explain why? Is it because of
Why is it good or why does it exist?
Why is it good?
Okay.
And then why does it exist?
Okay.
Obviously, you like Bing Crosby Dad. And some other pop culture pastiche uncle.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start chronologically, as if you were watching an episode.
Yeah.
We start off with what is probably the best TV theme tune of any show. It comprises of the name of the show, Tasmania, and then the name of the characters. I mean, what more could you possibly need from a theme song? Like, you don't need to know what the show's about.
Yeah.
You don't need, like, tone setting or anything. No, just, here are the characters you're about to watch in the show that is called Tasmania. Here comes Tasmania. Let's go Tasmania.
Come to Tasmania.
We mean you. Blah, 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 blah.
Come on down to the Wonder Down Under. The sky's always yellow in the rain or shine.
Yeah. Now,
Jesus, they're hacking up that fucking horse.
the thing that most people don't get, because they've only watched Tasmania once, all the way through, like most people.
Yeah.
Most people have watched the whole thing all the way through, at least once.
Obviously.
But as a connoisseur of the art form that is Tasmania, having seen each episode at least 5 times, what you miss on the first viewing is the deep underlying metaphorical resonance of each of the characters.
Yeah.
For example, definitely not looking at the characters.
What's up, Taz? Taz is a character that you could have easily gone for first.
Come on. The family itself is obvious. We can't start there. The family dynamic is representative of the American ideal. You have the mum, the dad, the daughter, the mentally handicapped son, who runs around town naked and just gibbering constantly.
Yeah, yeah.
No, what gets interesting is when you look into the side characters and how they actually represent the difficult political leanings of the creative team.
So the hunter and his mum.
The hunter and his mum, let's go there. Bushwhacker Bob.
That's the one.
And mum. Now, Bushwhacker Bob is, of course, Taz's boss.
Is he?
Yeah.
What the fuck am I thinking of?
I don't know. Are you thinking of one of the Outback characters?
Yes.
Who are you thinking of? Who's the hunter? Who's the hunter?
Some big fat dude with orange hair.
Yeah. No, anyway, Bushwhacker Bob is Taz's loud, grumpy, uppity, rude, selfish, lazy, and incompetent boss. He's the owner of Hotel Tasmania, largely self-centered. Now, Wikipedia says that he's a send-up of Basil Fawlty from Fawlty Towers, but that is such a surface reading that I think it's frankly outrageous that the moderators haven't taken that out.
It's insulting.
It really is.
It is.
See, Bushwhacker Bob is actually a representation of the Communist Party. As the primary villain of the piece, the creators are advocating for the rights of the proletariat and the Working Party's union. Working Union Party. What's one of those ones? The Workers' Party. The Workers' Party?
The proles.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So you're saying that Bushwhacker Bob represents a clear bourgeoisie?
Absolutely. As represented by the fact that he dotes hand and foot on his mother. The mother obviously representing the wealth.
Yeah, yeah.
Capitalism,
The
if
1%.
you will. Exactly.
Yeah.
Then we get Constant Koala. Constance Koala, not just the constant koala. The ever-present being, always floating, watching all. The koala knows all, the koala sees all.
I would love that. I mean, I wouldn't, but that would be deeply, deeply terrifying.
She is an enormous but gentle-spirited and graceful koala who is the maid. She's fond of singing and dancing.
Oh, her, yeah.
Yeah. She represents the obesity crisis of America. And also the tenacity that the overweight people have, that despite any possible health problems that could come from their obesity, they power through and they still live rich, meaningful lives, regardless of what the people at Big Vegetable would try to tell you. So obviously very clear anti-healthy food propaganda there from Tasmania.
It's very interesting for such an early 90s?
Yeah,
for a show of that era to be so against fat phobia that was so prevalent at the time, and still is, really. Anyway, continue, sorry.
Now, Mr. Thickley is kind of a metatextual piece. On the surface, he is a multi-talented, funny, energetic and upbeat wallaby who works at the Hotel Tasmania, as said on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
However, to really understand the character, you have to realise that he's voiced by Dan Castellaneta. Now, this is something that you would only know if you've heard the director's commentary, because unfortunately they decided to cut out all of the backstory of Mr. Thickley's family. His family situation is actually really sad. He is abusive to his child, Shart.
Shart?
Yep, Shart. And really negligent of his other two kids, Pisa and Shaggy. Now, Mr. Thickley...
Oh, it was a... I was looking at the fucking Wikipedia page to try and find his son named Shart. Damn it. Such an idiot.
No, Mr. Thickley is a commentary on the prevalence of the bad father trope in American sitcoms. Your Al Bundys, your Homer Simpsons, not your Griffins, because Peter Griffin is just like a sociopath. He's not a bad father. He's just a terrible, racist, homophobic piece of shit.
He's mad.
Maybe your Hank Hills. I haven't seen enough King of the Hill.
Hank Hill's good.
Hank Hill's good? Okay,
he's a good boy.
He's like a Bob. Is he more like Bob Belcher, Hank Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, no. So you're bad dads. And it's sort of striking against the supposed inherent comedy in that, saying, look, this is a real problem that is facing the American household. The nuclear family is a...
outdated paradigm.
Exactly, an outdated paradigm. That's a very good way to put it. And so by showing Mr. Thickley as this abusive figure, it really shines a spotlight on what other shows are painting in a much more light tone.
And having him as the counterpart to Taz's dad...
Absolutely.
...certainly introduces a very interesting dichotomy in the whole experience, where you can see good dad, bad dad.
Absolutely.
Bad dad, good dad. Know what I'm saying?
So that covers the Hotel Tasmania stuff, and we'll come back to this at a later point to discuss the rest of the cast.
We'll be releasing the thesis soon enough.
Yeah.
On Elsevier.
On what?
It's either Elsevier or Elsevier. That's where lots and lots of research papers are published. I'm published on there.
Oh. Did you hear that, everyone? Chris, your boy Chris, he's published on there. That's right, he's a published science boy.
I am. Because I'm a co-author of some things that I did a graph for.
Woo!
Such a fucking squid. Gandalf has ever been our friend and ally. Why don't they all say that? I would love it, but every single character just use that as a standard phrase in that tone of voice whenever they're referring to someone as an ally. The elves have ever been our friends and allies. What about Sam? He'll try and take the ring. Sam has ever been my friend and ally. That's it. That's the bit. That's the end of the bit. Thank you for tuning in.
It's a good one.
Blah, blah, blah. Yakety
I think that'll make the CD for sure.
Oh, here we go. Here's a woman fleeing. That's our new party member. Her name's Peasant Sue. Most of her abilities involve gangrene, which she has. She's it's an interesting risk-reward character where you can rip off gangrenous limbs and beat orcs with them. It really adds an extra interesting layer to the game.
The longer you let the gangrene build up, the more damage those attacks do.
Yeah, there's a little like poison meter below her health bar, and each turn it increases a little bit as the gangrene spreads further. And then you can sort of release it all in one fell swoop and like rip off a leg or rip off a torso.
I'm surprised that no one's had a go at Nintendo for stealing that in their newest game, Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, which despite its sort of veneer of being very child-friendly, has a very strange take on the poison mechanic.
It's a very strong gangrene theme.
Well, and the longer a Pokemon is poisoned, the more likely it is to inflict that poison when it does attacks such as bite or scratch.
I'm going to assume that that's not true, but it sounds like it might be true.
It's not true. We do not infect new Pokemon in what is definitely meant to be the sort of entry-level, child-focused Pokemon game.
Presumably they don't have Pokerus in it then.
I would assume not.
Yeah.
Although, I think they have that on Pokemon Go.
Oh.
So maybe they do.
Yeah. I feel it's like a hidden enough mechanic that nobody fucking knows about it anyway, so... I've never seen Pokerus.
Only from stuff that I've got off the GTS.
Ah.
That was called...
Global Trading Satellite.
This one.
Global Trading shit.
Did you see the new trailer for Let's Go Pikachu?
No.
Let's Go Eevee?
No.
You can give your Pikachu and Eevee different haircuts. Oh, it's just wonderful. Oh.